Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. At the touch of Levi becomes a poet. Courage is knowing what not to fear. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Knowledge which is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Ideas are the source of all things. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Those who are too smart to engage in politics are punished by being governed by those who are dumber. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. Love is a serious mental disease. There are 3 classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world, but her education and her culture. Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Do not train children to learn by force and harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. You should not honor men more than truth. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. The soul of man is immortal and imperishable. Courage is knowing what not to fear. The penalty that good men pay for not being interested in politics is to be governed by men worse than themselves. Courage is the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees the others. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. The measure of a man is what he does with power. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Only the dead have seen the end of war.